Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Morehart. I'm this disembodied voice coming to you as I look down at my desk here. And on it, you can see I've got a pizza. And we all like pizza, or most of us do. And we're used to pizzas being cut into portions. So you can see that this pizza has been cut into two halves, right? And I don't know if you're a big eater, maybe you like to eat half of a pizza. But take a look at all the different ways in which we could divide this pizza. We could divide it into 12ths if we had 12 people that we're going to be eating. We could divide it into ninths. We could divide it into 16ths. That's a kind of a teeny weeny piece. I think I would probably want more than 1/16 of a pizza. We've got 1/8. We've got a third. Okay, so we've got quite a few different pieces of pizza sitting here. And I just want you to notice something about these pieces. So we have our numerator and we have our denominator. And when the denominator is a small number, the piece is bigger because this is telling us how many parts the whole has been cut into. So you only have to cut it into 2 parts. Of course, those pieces are pretty big, aren't they? So I want to just show you what happens when I line up some of my other pieces here. So we've got our half, and now we've got our third, and you're noticing that the third is, if I place it on here, a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller than that half, right? So now we've got the pizza cut into 3 pieces. If I go to my quarters, now the pizza is cut into 4 parts. And so those pieces are getting a little bit smaller. If I follow along with that kind of idea and I go to 1/6, you can see 1/6 on the half. It's quite small. And if we compare it to the 1/4, there's a quarter and there's a 1/6. And if we compare it to the third, so an interesting thing you're going to start noticing is that some of these fractions, when you put them together, add up to another one. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So that's 1/6. How about if I go over to 1/8? Same kind of idea. So I'm comparing them to fractions to each other. You can see how those pieces change. When we have to cut the original, the whole, into more parts, the actual fraction gets smaller and smaller. So you don't want to have 1/20th of a pizza. You probably want to have 1/3 or something like that. Let's go on to 1/9 and just see how that's going to compare. This is quite small. And to our quarter and our third as well. So I'm just kind of curious if this is making sense. Here's our 1/12. And you see once again I'm putting it onto the pizza. So just kind of for fun, if you got paper, you could make yourself your own pizza and you could cut it into a number of equal parts. And once you know how many parts you've cut it into, that could be your number on the bottom. That's your denominator. And then you could put your 1 at the top like that. Okay, so let's take a look. We've got our half a piece of pizza, and I'm just curious if I could maybe put some things on there that are going to add up to that. So if I were to take 1/4, and I've got another quarter sitting over here, and put those 2 quarters together like that, that's the same as 1/2, and you can see how that was working out, right? Building a little further on that, if I'm going to split that again, I could maybe go to, let's just see what happens. I can put 1/8 there, and all of a sudden you're noticing 1/8 is, man, that's half of the quarter. Interesting. And of course, 8 is 2 times 4 is 8, right? So now we've got 2/8 being the same as 1/4. And of course the 2 quarters being the same as half. So let's keep building on this. If I wanted to have the same amount as half a piece of pizza, I would need 1, 2, and if I have my other 8s here, 3, and of course I'm missing 1 piece, but I'll put this one over here and you can see that I would have 4 4/8 of the same as 1/2 a piece of pizza. So you can keep going like this, building on with this, right? Maybe we could try and see what other numbers would work, right? So we've got all these different examples of pizza parts. And what you can do is you can create one pizza, and you can maybe create multiple circles that are the same size and do exactly what I've done here. Cut one in half and label it, and then you can cut another one into 4 pieces. So you've got your quarters, and just to kind of keep this a little simpler, you could do another circle, same size, and cut it into 8 parts, and just see if you can layer those up and down. If you want to get fancy, and for those people that want a little bit more of a challenge, you can go on to 12ths. I'll just put my 12th there, and you can go on to 16ths. So a little something I want you to notice is that if I have 1/2 here, I could put a number of 16ths in to make it half. So if you're thinking about this, 16 means that the pizza would be cut into 16 parts. If I have half of the pizza away, I should only need 8 of these to make up a half. So that's a little bit of thinking for you. So have fun creating some pizzas at home, and just thinking about how we use fractions in our day-to-day life, especially when we are creating food. You know, just gonna look and see what is it that you're doing at home that has to do with fractions. Okay, bye for now, boys and girls.